Good afternoon folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's safe, hope everybody's well. So this is a motorcycle jacket then, made of real leather. Purchased from Amazon then, brand name is Warrior Gears. Now, I've actually got two jackets which are made by different companies, although they're probably made in the same factory, but that's irrelevant. And they are virtually identical. So just looking at the advert then on the Amazon website, it states that this jacket here is made of premium, genuine Napa cowhide. So it says full grain leather shell constructed with natural finish for abrasion resistance, durability and a soft, luxurious feel. Now this is an armoured jacket and it does have some very basic protection. So you've got some protection in the shoulders, you've got some in the elbows, and you have some really basic protection in the back of the jacket, just here. So it must be said then that on the description of the jacket it says that if you want to upgrade it you can. I'd suggest you do that sooner rather than later. So I think the first thing we need to be absolutely clear about is the fact that despite what it says in the advertising, this is not a premium leather jacket. If you want a premium leather jacket, then you need to spend well over £1,000, probably £1,200 to £1,500, and you'd be going to a website such as Lewis Leathers in London. Now don't get me wrong, that's not to say that this isn't a nice looking jacket, because it is. But as I say, let's call it out for what it is. This is not a premium leather jacket. So as we can see then, you've got four nice large pockets, rectangular, and the way they're designed, look, you can put quite a bit of gear in there. So the reason they look a little bit baggy is because that's the way they've been made. So we can also see that it's got a belt. Now look, this isn't a top quality belt at all. In fact, I wouldn't really like to speculate how long something like this would last. I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, yeah, it's a belt, it does the job, but when you pick it up, when you start handling the thing, it becomes clear that this is quite a sort of a cheap, cheaply made item. The finishing isn't perfect, but then again, I only paid 180 quid for this. I may or may not keep it. So for the money you spend, I don't think you can be too picky, really, can you? So inside then, it's got this sort of quilted flannel finish. So it does offer some very basic warmth. It's a very thin quilted material, look, and it zips in and can be easily zipped out. We'll do that, just see if we can get a bit of a, there we go. So this then is a 3/4 length jacket. Classic buckle at the top there, look. Now it must be said that I don't know whether these are brass fittings. I mean, you would think they should be, wouldn't you? But when you turn these round, you can see that they haven't actually been secured particularly well. I mean, that looks a bit poor to me. But then again, let's bear in mind that this only costs 180 quid. Now, there is a jacket which appears to be absolutely identical on the Amazon website with another brand name, and it's about 25 quid cheaper. So as I say, you know, we've got to keep in perspective what we're actually paying for here. So I would say that far from being a premium leather jacket, this is what I would describe as being a value leather jacket. This is a sort of a mesh, probably some sort of nylon or polyester, I don't know for sure, to be honest with you. So presumably that will add to breathability, and also if you remove this lining here, look, it will mean that it won't stick to whatever clothing you're wearing underneath. So these other brass fitments here, look, they look a little bit better, don't they? They don't look as shoddy as those ones there. If we have a look at the fitments or the snaps on the pockets, they look alright. Nothing special though. Oh yeah, and another thing you notice is the fact that when you lift the pockets, you can see these sort of silver lines. So presumably that's part of the manufacturing process, just to guide somebody where to stitch the pockets on. Yeah, there we go, look. To be honest, I'm surprised to see that, but then again, perhaps I shouldn't be. These pockets do seem to be reasonably sturdy. In addition to these bucket sort of pockets here, look, you do have one on the side. They're quite deep. One of the things which I would say, which is a little bit disappointing, is the fact that this zip only opens and closes one way. You can't actually open it from the bottom. So for example, when you're sitting on your motorbike or your quad bike, you can't pull the zip up from the bottom there, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. The arms are a very, very good length. They're absolutely spot on. So incidentally, to get to the armour, what you need to do is to unzip this liner, and at the various insertion points there's some little pockets with some Velcro on, and it just enables you to put the armour, if you can call it that, in and to remove it. So at the back then, you know, it's got I mean, it feels all right. It feels as rugged, I suppose, as you would hope for. Let's say the belt lets it down. These loops here look, they look a bit poor, to be honest with you, but you know, they might do the job, who knows. And it does have a sort of a tailored fit, if you can call it that, look. There are no sort of extensions. There isn't an action back on here, what I'd call an action back anyway, but I don't think you'd need it, because this is quite a roomy jacket. And you know, when I haven't actually worn it yet on the bike, on the quad bike rather, but it's got a very good length, and as I say, the arms are an excellent length as well, so there won't be any problem with me stretching out to grab the handlebars of my quad bike. So I've taken some bits of armour out then, if you can call it that. As you can see, they're basically just bits of moulded foam. Clearly they do have some impact resistance, but like I say, you know, this will offer you the most basic protection. So if you get a jacket like this, you need to swap these out. So they basically go in these pockets. So this armour then goes in these pockets. Just undo that Velcro, slot them in. There is a bit of Velcro on these, so put them in there, slot them in, make sure you're getting the right way around, close the Velcro, keep your fingers crossed. So on the back here then, we have another large pocket for the back protection. So this is the back protection, and you know, if you're going to rely on this to protect your spine, you're seriously deluded. If you rely on this in an accident to protect your spine, then you'll end up eating your steak and chips by sucking it through a straw. This is not adequate. Okay, it's just a piece of really crappy foam. So you'd be better off buying something, some much better quality armour, something like the Oxford armour, which I have in my other jacket, because that ain't adequate. I mean, it might be alright for sitting on if you go camping or for sticking on a bicycle seat, but that ain't going to save your back. Don't rely on it. So that goes in this pocket here, look. Now the zips, they look all right. The thing about zips is the fact, I mean, don't get me wrong, they slide nice and smoothly, but you don't know whether you've got a good zip or a bad one until it starts playing up, do you? You've got an inside pocket there, look. Nothing on this side. This is quite a heavyweight jacket, so it will definitely offer some protection. It will certainly offer more protection than a fashion leather jacket, let's put it that way. So here is the padded or the quilted insert. Now this isn't the best made thing. There's one or two threads knocking around. Yeah, there's a few loose threads, and also I did notice on the back here, turn this round, that emblem is seriously on the piss. Now I don't know whether it's just my eyesight, but it looks, I don't know, it just doesn't look completely symmetrical. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I think it might be because the lines are, yeah, they're on a little bit of a diagonal. Perhaps I ought to send it to Notre Dame, see if we have any takers. I think it's an optical illusion, actually, thinking about it, as I say, because, you know, the lines, they're not square. These ones here, look, the horizontal ones are, well, they're not completely horizontal. So anyway, that's the Warrior Gears leather jacket. So, is it worth 180 squids? Given the fact that there are other leather jackets on other websites which appear to be absolutely identical, and you can pick them up from about 160 quid, I would say they are a very good buy. I would say if you couldn't get this jacket any cheaper, I think it's a reasonable buy at £189. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the jacket on so you can see what it looks like on me. So I'm 6'4", 18 stone, bit of a paunch. This fits me, to my mind, absolutely perfectly, and yeah, I could certainly wear this on a motorcycle, but as I say, I would upgrade the armour. This feels pretty much perfect really in terms of size. So as you can see, the arm length is absolutely spot on. So the length also is absolutely spot on if you're on a motorcycle or quad bike. The belt is a good fit, you haven't got too much excess flapping around, so you can do that up. So really, really nice length. Suits somebody with a middle-aged paunch. Excellent length on the sleeves. If you do wear it on a bike, quad bike, whatever, and you take a slide, I think realistically you probably need to replace it. Just my thoughts, but I may of course be wrong. But I've just spotted something else which is very disappointing. Check this out, look, I've just noticed this. So that snaps okay, that snaps okay. That one I was struggling to close it. If you look why, look, pretty crap, isn't it? See, you can't actually close that. So, it's pretty shit, isn't it? So this jacket, I was actually going to keep it, but that ain't happening anymore. How disappointing is that?